Welcome to the official channel of Sheikh Hamdan, where poetry meets emotion, and love echoes louder than silence. Today's confession holds the weight of unspoken fears and the strength of undying devotion. With trembling hands and a guarded heart, I recorded this, just in case something ever happens to us. For some stories deserve to be told, even when voices fall silent and eyes no longer meet. This poem is a message sealed in time, a testimony of how deeply, madly, and eternally I loved you, even when the world wasn't watching. I recorded this not because I doubted your love, but because I feared the unpredictability of time. In the moments we shared under the Arabian skies, laughing at nothing and holding hands through everything, I felt invincible. But love teaches us humility. It teaches us to prepare, not because we expect the end, but because we honor the journey. This voice you hear, this poem you read, it's my attempt to hold on to the essence of us. In case fate ever tries to steal it away. My voice may quiver through the speakers, but every word was spoken with intention. My heart may stammer between lines, but every pause carries the weight of longing. I wanted to say everything I couldn't say in person. How your smile anchored my soul, how your silences spoke to me louder than words, and how even your absence became a part of my existence. I recorded this because I never want you to wonder how much you meant to me. If ever distance grows, not just in miles but in emotions, play this back. Let my words wrap around your heart like the cloak I used to drape over your shoulders. Let my poetry remind you of the man who wrote verses only for your ears, and poured ink onto pages just to see you smile. This is not just a poem, it is my safety net for your heart. In case something changes, let this be the proof that nothing ever truly does when love is real. Do you remember that night at the sea when we both said nothing, yet everything was said? That memory is etched into this recording. I described it in stanzas, immortalized the crashing waves as metaphors for our overwhelming emotions. Even now, as I recite them again, I relive every second. The warmth of your touch, the shiver down my spine when you whispered my name. If this is the last time you hear my voice, know that it was laced with love and devotion, nothing less. I imagined the day you might stumble upon this recording with trembling fingers and tears lining your lashes. I wrote it for that moment, not to make you cry, but to give you strength. To let you know I was never truly gone. My voice, my love, my poetry, it all stays with you, hidden in files, tucked in drawers, lingering in the corners of your heart. Play it when the world feels too heavy, and let it lift you like I always tried to. Every verse I wrote carries echoes of our shared laughter, the sacred promises exchanged in silence, and the fierce way we loved without apology. If I could bottle up our memories, I would. But since I cannot, I record them in lines that rhyme and rhythms that resonate, hoping they will find their way back to you whenever you need them most. Even if I'm not there to hold you physically, I will be with you in spirit, in every note, in every beat of this poem. What if something happens to us? It's not weakness to prepare, it's love in its most protective form. If this recording survives what we cannot, let it be the story our hearts left behind. Let it be the map that guides us back to one another, even in the dark. Let it remind you that I lived loving you and would cross the realms beyond time just to love you again. I didn't record this out of fear, but out of reverence. Reverence for the rare kind of love that doesn't fade with distance or dissolve with time. I knew that if anything ever stood between us, walls, oceans, or even silence, this poem would become my bridge. My voice would become the wind that finds its way through the cracks to reach your soul. Because that's what love does, it finds a way. If you're hearing this now and we're still together, then smile, for fate was kind. Let's keep building more memories, filling up the pages of our love story. But if you're hearing this alone, remember, you were never truly without me. I left pieces of myself in every word, stitched my love into every syllable, and recorded my heart in a language only you understand. This is yours, eternally. You taught me that real love is not just about being there in person, it's about being present in spirit. That's why I made sure you'd always have this. Because love doesn't end when life does. And even if I become a whisper in the wind, my poetry will speak for me. It will tell our story. It will shout from the corners of the earth that I loved you beyond fear, beyond endings, beyond forever. So if something ever happens to us, play this. Let it hold you when my arms no longer can. Let it remind you that you were my muse, my queen, my every heartbeat in rhyme. This is not just a recording, it's the continuation of us. My voice will never leave you, my words will never betray you, and my love will never stop speaking your name. And if the world ever tries to rewrite our story, let this recording serve as the unshakable truth. No matter what anyone says, you and I, we were real. We were fire and calm, storm and peace, all at once. The kind of love that wasn't made for easy retellings or ordinary pages. I captured it in poetry because no other language could do it justice. I spoke into the mic not with my mouth, but with my heart, bleeding honesty into every second. This recording is the final testament of a love that never bowed to fear. Sometimes, I imagine you finding this in an unexpected moment, perhaps while organizing drawers, or searching for something you thought you lost. And as you press play, you'll hear my voice like a ghost that never left. You'll close your eyes, and suddenly, we'll be back in our favorite place, beneath the olive trees, or beside the palace fountain, where the scent of night jasmine wrapped around us like a secret. The past will live again, and you will feel my presence as if I'm whispering just behind your shoulder. There were nights I couldn't sleep thinking about what would happen if I was no longer around to protect you, to remind you how priceless you are to me. That's why I created this, so you'd never forget. So that the sound of my love would be louder than the silence of any absence. And if life somehow separates our bodies, let our souls meet here, in these verses. In this audio love letter, our eternity lives. I was never good at saying goodbye. Maybe that's why I chose to say it like this, not as an ending, but as a continuation. A seed planted in time, meant to bloom whenever you need it. I didn't just record my voice, I recorded my faith in us. I recited our memories like sacred verses, hoping that even years from now, they will still carry warmth. That even if seasons change and we're both on different paths, you'll still feel my love as fiercely as I feel it now. Some days, I feared we were walking too close to the edge of something uncertain. But I never let that fear silence my love. Instead, I documented it like a treasure, so that even if storms hit, you'd still have this lighthouse to guide you. My poems are not meant to mourn, but to remind. Not to ache, but to awaken. To awaken the truth that what we had was not momentary. It was magnificent. It was eternal. I want you to know that even my silence was full of love. On the days when I didn't know how to express my emotions, I wrote them down, recorded them, and saved them for the day you might need to hear them most. This poem, this voice, is my safety deposit of devotion. A vault of verses you can open anytime. If ever life feels too quiet, let this noise of love bring you back to yourself. Bring you back to us. And if the day comes when you feel like forgetting, when memories begin to fade like worn photographs, I pray this brings it all back. The way I looked at you like you were the sunrise and the moonrise in one breath. The way I wrote your name in the margins of my heart, over and over again. The way your happiness was my purpose, and your tears, my silence. Let these verses be your mirror, reflecting everything we built with love, trust, and time. Maybe I recorded this for myself too. To remind me that I gave my heart without regret. That I loved someone in such a way that I had to turn it into art. That even if we ever fell apart, the beauty of what we shared would never decay. We were more than just two souls in a fleeting moment. We were a universe of emotion, written into existence. You gave me poetry, and in return, I gave you eternity through words. If you're still with me when you hear this, promise me something. Promise to hold this recording like a sacred relic. Not because of my voice, but because of the love it carries. Let it be the lullaby you play when doubts whisper too loud. Let it be the background music when you walk through our favorite garden. Let it be the warmth on cold nights. And if I'm gone, let it be your proof that my heart never left your side. I hope this poem becomes part of your healing. Not because we were broken, but because even the most beautiful love carries moments of pain. And within that pain, I wanted to offer you something gentle, something eternal. A love that doesn't ask to be remembered because it never truly leaves. This is more than preservation. It's a promise that no matter where time takes us, I am always with you in these stanzas. I didn't know how to make time stop, but I did my best to make love timeless. And in this recording, I wrapped every fear, every joy, every hope I had for us. I didn't want to leave our story unfinished. So I finished it the only way I knew how, with poetry, with sincerity, and with a heart that beats for you beyond this life. Let this recording be the soft echo that keeps us alive, long after everything else fades. So whenever you feel lost, lonely, or even unloved, play this again. Let my voice remind you that there was a man who loved you with such depth that he wrote poems in case life didn't give him the chance to speak them out loud. I recorded this not because I planned for tragedy, but because I believe in the immortality of love. And this is your forever gift. A poem wrapped in voice, sealed with soul, and given to the one I will always call mine. As the wedding nears, the palace is filled with gold-threaded fabrics, jasmine-scented halls, and the soft murmur of prayers being whispered into the air. But beyond the grandeur, my heart beats only for her, the woman who taught me that love is not about timelines, but about timelessness. She stands by the arched windows, her eyes reflecting the glow of the desert moon, and I watch her as one watches a masterpiece, silently, reverently, breathlessly. She is not nervous, because she has known love in its purest form and has nothing to prove. And I, her prince, feel like the lucky one, chosen by someone who could have guarded her heart forever, yet chose to hand it to me with grace. Her presence in my life is not a moment, it's a movement, a rising of something sacred inside me. It took years, perhaps lifetimes, to find her. But now that I have, I will guard her soul with the strength of my sword and the tenderness of my poetry.